Welcome back to the Empowered Life channel. My name is Yvonne, and this channel is all about bringing you content that's empowering, encouraging and inspiring. I do share on this channel as well book reviews of empowering or inspiring books that I come across, and I'll share them with you in hopes that maybe you might want to check them out if they are of interest to you. Please subscribe to this channel, hit the thumbs up button if you like the videos, and share with anybody that you feel needs a dose of the empowered life. I went to a networking event that was put on by Natwest Bank for women in business, and it was called How to Talk About Yourself with Authenticity and Confidence. Now, you may know already, some of you who've come on this channel before, networking has not really been my strong point, and you know, if I'm being honest, I always find networking a little bit awkward. I never know how to put myself across, but I am getting better because I have been to a few networking events now, admittedly not in the last few months because I've been busy working hard and doing the things I need to do, but I am getting better at going to these events. And last Friday this event was held in Bank in London, and they had two really fantastic women speakers who were talking about confidence. So I just wanted to share with you some footage from the event, and then I'll come back and share with you some things that I took away from it.
Who here has become an expert at being humble? Does everyone know what that means? I'll try to keep my language inclusive in case there's any non-native English speakers here. Who's an expert at being humble? What about playing it small? Just doing just enough, but not too much so you're too visible. Yeah? Okay. All right. What about steering away from self-promotion? What about, you know, don't want to talk about myself too much, it's a bit braggy, a bit uncomfortable, squeamish. Who does that? Okay, yeah? Okay. Who wants to be able to be more comfortable with speaking about themselves with authenticity and confidence? Okay, I'm kind of assuming that's why you're here, but I've got to ask the question. So when you think about that person, what does she look like? Mostly one man, sorry. What do you look like? I'm inclusive. So I don't know, if you like to close your eyes, I don't know who's into visualization. When you think about speaking about yourself with authenticity and confidence, what are you doing? Who are you speaking to? Is it your boss? Is it in your business? Are you online? Is it social media? And when you close your eyes and think about that person, what does it give you? Does it get you excited? Does it scare you? Are you looking forward to it? How do you feel about that? So, anyone offer anything? Does anyone get excited by that vision? Is anyone scared by that? Scared? Okay. So in order to talk about yourself with authenticity, you've got to get to know yourself, warts and all, the good, the bad and the ugly. So how do you do that? Well, I think about what makes you tick, what drives you, what motivates you, what energizes you, what gets you going, what's going to invigorate you to get up in the morning. All of those things are essential to get to know yourself. And if you don't know who you are, you're going to be a poor version of yourself. You're not going to be being true, you're not standing in your truth. You're going to be a poor version of yourself, or perhaps a poor version of someone else, which is even worse. So what do you do with that information? So I want to help you to find your version, to celebrate your successes, celebrate your achievements and speak about them in public, online, wherever, so that you get what you want. Has anyone never heard of imposter syndrome? Found out that you don't know enough? What entitles you to be doing what you're doing? You don't know enough to be there. So therefore, you have a fear of not being good enough. So all of those things make you feel a bit uncomfortable, and it doesn't sit right. So you could be going to your boss asking for a promotion, or you could be standing in front of a room pitching for investors or something like that, and you're thinking, oh my God, I don't have the right to be here because I'm a fraud and I'm going to be found out. That's the type of thing that could be going on for you. Does anyone have any other version that they use for themselves? Does that cover everyone's version of what they know about imposter syndrome?
Trying to be what you think others want you to be.
Okay. Yeah.
When you I don't think you are that.
So it's not your authentic, it's not your truth. Look at what is factual about your situation. You are never going to be an imposter. And if you're in the moment and you think, oh, I'm an imposter, just when you recognize it, just think, okay, what is factual about me saying I'm an imposter? Which bit of that is factual? And if you can't find that, then it must be fiction. So So that's a really big one. Go back to it. Whenever you feel uncomfortable, you can go back to that. What did that lady say? She said, oh, fact from fiction, where am I now? So you can use that to guide you. You can't solve your problems with the same thinking you used to create them. So when you're going in through life with the same mindset and the same way of thinking, you're not solving anything. You have to do something different. You have to take a change. You have to make a change. So find out how you can do that. It works for you. We all have different learning styles.
Now, in the world of communications, because I'm a PR practitioner, and I do believe, and I've been in PR for 20 years, that now is the most exciting time to be in communications. But I also appreciate it's a tad scary because of all of these things. We've got magazines, we've got TV stations, more TV stations than we've ever had. We've got radio, we've got podcasts, we've got Facebook Lives, we've got so much. And then, of course, we've got our own what we say about ourselves, which is where I'm going to focus really here, because we are in control of what we say about ourselves. And one of my biggest take-home messages is be visible. Okay, now you can't all go home now because that's it, that's the presentation. Because I'm going to show you how we can be visible in a way that makes us, ourselves, feel comfortable in our guts as well as in our brains. Because, like I said, we control the conversation. PR is about your reputation, so you need to be putting the words out there that you want people to say about you. You want people to say, she's really good at her job because. She is the best person for the job because. I want to work with her because. And this because is what we're going to get to the root of, because if you can nail the because, you're really rocking and rolling, you're on your way. So, having said that, as Rosemary talked about this morning, it's easier said than done. And as Rosemary was talking, a statistic came to mind when we were talking about job interviews, that women, the Harvard Business Review did a study, and women will apply for jobs, on the whole, when they meet 100% of the specifications, but men, it's 60%. So why do we do that? But in human resources, they will have an ideal job description and an ideal person that fits that job description, everything that they can possibly think of that meets that job. But that's not really 100% realistic. They're going to be looking for that 90%, but what they're really looking for is someone who can bring that little bit something different, that little magic to that job, that little spark, that little bit of something different. And why am I here? We're talking about imposter syndrome. I have, as I said, 20 years in PR. I've only ever, apart from a brief stint in bookselling, I've only ever really worked in PR. So I started at the bottom, not really understanding what PR was, but I started in an agency. So that label was already given to me because I started at the bottom, which is an account exec. So then I moved up through the companies, and then as companies were taken over, I became an account manager. That was that next label. Then I became an account director. So eventually I left, and it was Huntsworth Health by this point, and I was managing several large accounts, several large teams, and I was advising chief marketing officers all around the world, and I was specialising in pharmaceutical PR. But that was my label, but I never realised that until I left. It's your passion. This is possibly the most important thing, because this is your spark. This is your enthusiasm. This will get you through when you don't quite know what you're doing. When you don't have that right level of knowledge and you're still learning. Your passion and determination will get you to that point. Oh, minus anxiety. Yeah. Because that's where I put the imposter syndrome. Because it's literally you're nervous. But to be quite honest, that's probably a good thing. Because what's nervous to you is maybe somebody else's excitement. Those butterflies and that tingling, that's your adrenaline. That is, I've got this. But it's as Rosemary was saying, you have to change the conversation.
So the first speaker, Rosemary, who's a global mindset coach and leadership expert, was talking about imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome basically means that internal feeling that many people go through, but admittedly some might not say they do, or feeling like a fraud or a fake. Imposter syndrome is most likely to occur when you feel out of your depth, you're stepping into the unknown, doing new things that you've never done before and taking risks. And that's something I can completely understand. It's something that I've experienced to a degree in many different things that I do. So whilst Rosemary was saying that feeling like an imposter is a natural part of a process of when you're doing new things or taking a risk, what she was saying is that you can't give in to negative talk. So watch how you talk about yourself, watch the things that you say about yourself. Even if you feel like that inside, it's a temporary feeling, and you shouldn't validate that by speaking it out. There is power of life and death in the tongue. Sometimes the words that we speak can strangely come to pass in our own lives. Even if you think like that, or even if you saying those things, what she's saying is to try and reaffirm yourself by saying positive things, opposite to how you feel. She also asked the audience if they underplay themselves. I mean, she talks about in the beginning, as you saw there, about who's really good at playing humble. You know, I think humbleness is a very powerful trait to have, being humble, having humility, but it's a fine line to have that and to talk about yourself and your achievements and share success or the things that you're good at. Sometimes that is where I think I struggle a little bit, just because how do you get that balance? Sometimes I lean too much towards the other way, where I don't really say anything, or I don't put myself forward enough, you know, to talk about the things that I know that I am really, really good at. But then on the other hand, sometimes when I do talk about it, sometimes I have a tendency to reel off things, not to show off, but I think sometimes I do it out of anxiousness in certain situations. So I'm still learning how to get that balance. Some people do feel insecure when you are talking about your achievements. You're not boasting, you're not bragging, you're not showing off on them. You're just proud of the things that you have done and what you've achieved. The chips may fall where they need to at the end of the day, because I cannot personally stop anybody from feeling insecure about the things that I've achieved. She was talking about that, and I thought that was a good point. And everybody in the room was actually in agreement with it, that it usually comes when people are putting you down about your achievements or making you feel insecure about yourself. It's usually because the problem lies with them. Isla O'Hara, the second speaker, she is a PR practitioner and marketing expert, was talking about the power of social media and putting yourself out there. She shared about social media and the importance of it, that it is a powerful and fantastic tool to put yourself out there, the things that you're doing in your company or your business, what you're doing as an entrepreneur. Admittedly, sometimes I do struggle with social media, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I've had to grow a lot over the last few years and understand, especially in the last year, I would say that social media is a big part of my business. Sometimes I'm okay with it, I'll be posting regularly on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, but then other times I do really struggle with it, and I'm trying to find the balance there. It's especially hard actually when my time at the moment is prioritized with the paid work that is bringing money into my business so that I can support my household. I haven't really been posting on social media a lot, but it's something that I want to start picking up again, because I need to be always making sure that people are reminded of what I do and why I'm out there. Even if it's to post quotes or to post a quick video or to take a picture of something, I need to be making sure that I'm still in people's minds. I think in hindsight now, having Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, maybe that is too much social media. She also talked about the importance of testimonials in getting yourself out there as well. This is something I kind of knew, but when she was talking about it, it really just made it like, aha, this is really what I need to be pushing. So, you know, when people hire me to do a piece of work for them, get them to talk about what they liked about what I did for them, what value I brought to their business or to their life. This is something I am going to definitely be taking forward. At the moment, my webmaster is actually working. We're working together actually to develop my testimonials page, because I needed a little bit of oomph. But that is something now going forward I'm going to really start to build, because that is where a lot of people will hire you to do something for them. If they see the testimonials of what value you added to people's lives, what they got from it. I really do enjoy going to NatWest Women's events. They really do put on a really good event. As you know, I did the entrepreneur business course through them. They really do support women in business. They really are passionate about doing that. So the key thing I took away from this event is to believe in myself, to continue to engage in my passions, to follow my dreams, know that it is a part of taking a risk as an entrepreneur, starting a new business, that you will feel like an imposter, but it's not true, and not to affirm that with negative self-talk. I will be going to other events. I think I'm going to another one in a couple of weeks' time. I couldn't really vlog in there, but you know, the next events I go to, I'm hoping to take my camera and do some actually vlogging in there. I was going to do a quick interview with a lady I met there. She was really nice and we had a really powerful conversation. And you know, it's the second time actually in a couple of weeks where I've had really powerful conversations with people about entrepreneurship, about risk, and it's not been recorded. So that's something I need to get more confident in, and I want to be able to share these conversations with you, so I will be starting to do that. So be sure to check out my other videos, and I shall see you on the next one. Take care.